Hello. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think something was wrong.
Yes,
Anyway,
ma'am.
yeah, sure. Should we start now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So let us start with the slide. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. I am unable to see it. Okay. So today we are going to start with the actual problems. And it's unit 4, as you remember. So in the recap, we have unknowns to be found out in a structure. And now we will start with finding out unknown forces and reactions. The method of analysis is known as flexibility method, wherein we want to find out the unknown forces or the actions. First of all, we have to find out what is known as static indeterminacy, or the number of unknown forces which cannot be found out with the help of equilibrium equations. So this method is known as force method or compatibility method or method of consistent deformations or method of consistent displacements. Originally, this method was developed by J.C. Maxwell, and later on it was modified by Otto Moher and Müller-Breslau. General procedure, I'm not going to spend much time because we'll see the procedure when we actually start solving the problems. First of all, we have to use principle of superposition. First, find out degree of indeterminacy, identify which force we are going to consider as redundant force, and then remove the redundant force, that is known as releasing the structure, so that the structure becomes statically determinate and stable. Then we find out the displacement of this structure, which is statically determinate, which is known as primary structure, and the displacements are found out for externally applied loads. Then we apply the compatibility equations. Actually, there is no displacement at the place of redundant force. So we try and apply a unit force in the direction of the redundant force and equate the total displacements to 0. Okay, so that is how the with the help of compatibility equation, the redundant force can be found out. Then we make use of equilibrium equations to find out remaining remaining unknowns. Okay, so the flexibility coefficient is basically deflection per unit force. Okay, so now we will try and go to actual problems. Let me check where I have opened this actual problem. Can you see the Word file now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the first problem
Yes,
I had, yeah, thank you. This first problem I had asked you to solve. How many of you could solve this particular problem? I had given the idea as to how to solve it. Did anybody try? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you solve it, or should I explain how to solve it?
And we have solved it.
Okay. So it looks like some of you want to know how it is to be solved. Okay. So as per the earlier steps, first of all, we have to find out the degree of static indeterminacy. Now this is the structure. A and B are the supports. Okay. At A there is a fixed end, and at B there is a roller end. So how many total unknown reactions are there?
4.
4 unknown reactions, correct.
4.
3 at the left support and 1 at the right support. So 4 unknown reactions. 3 equilibrium equations are available. So degree of static indeterminacy is 1. Okay. Now we have to identify which of these 4 reactions we want to consider as redundant force. So what I have done here in this problem is I have considered the reaction at B, which is the vertical reaction, as the redundant. Okay. So next step is to remove the redundant. So if I remove the redundant, I get a fixed ended beam which is loaded with uniformly distributed load W per unit length. Okay. So now this is known as the primary structure, and I have to analyze this primary structure. I have to find out the moments, and I have to find out the displacement at end B. Okay. So I'm not going into the details because many of you have found out the solution. So moment at left support comes out to be WL squared by 2. Any doubt here? Is there any doubt here?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No. Okay. So I want to find out the displacement with the easiest method. I have considered conjugate beam method. It's not compulsory for you to make use of the same method. You can use moment area method. You can use a double integration method, whichever you think is appropriate for you. Okay. So I have considered conjugate beam method, and in conjugate beam method, end A becomes free and end B becomes a fixed support. Do you agree with it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. I haven't shown the diagram over there. Do you want me to explain on the whiteboard? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll explain it on the whiteboard. So here we have this fixed ended beam. This is the fixed ended beam. Okay, I assume it to be a straight line. I'll just undo it. Okay, assume it is a straight line. Huh? So we have UDL over here. So how do I see the moments? Moment diagram is going to be, what will be the shape of the moment diagram? Anybody?
Second degree curve.
Oh, yes. So moment diagram will be like this.
There is a curve.
Right? Just try and understand this. This is going to be flattened here. So how much is the moment?
Minus WL square by 2.
Okay, so I'll write here. It is M is equal to minus WL squared by 2. Okay, then how do I proceed further for conjugate beam? For conjugate beam, the ends are going to shift, supports are going to shift. So for the conjugate beam method, I have to find out area of the M over EI diagram. Okay, so M over EI at the left end is minus WL square by 2, and I also have to add EI over there. So this is one part. This should have been minus, and this is to be multiplied by what?
1/3 into base.
Yeah, this is to be multiplied by base is L divided by 3. Agreed? Okay. So after that, what do we have to do to find out deflection at B?
Multiply by centroidal distance.
Multiply by centroidal distance. So what is the centroidal distance?
3 by 4L.
X is equal to 3 by 4L. From which end?
Free end.
Free end.
free end. But as far as the conjugate beam is concerned, which is that end?
Left.
Fixed.
It's a fixed end, correct. So if you come here for the area of M over EI diagram, minus WL squared by 2 EI into L by 3, okay, whatever we did here. Now I have to find out moment because of this force, which is the area of the M over EI diagram, and I find out that moment to be WL raised to 4 by 8 EI. Okay, this is the calculation here. So this is WL raised to 4 by 8 EI, and that is nothing but deflection at end B. Okay, so here I have shown this deflection at end B, which is delta B. Now this is the actual structure wherein at B we have a support. So next step is we have to apply the redundant force, but we don't know the redundant force. So how to find out redundant force? So what we do is at B, we apply area of M over EI diagram. Okay. So if you look at this particular diagram here, what I have done, I have drawn a primary structure from the original diagram, and I have considered the primary structure, and I have applied the redundant force over here. And how is this going to be? This is such that the deflection at end B is going to be 0. Okay, so that is what I have mentioned here. So actual structure A is equal to primary structure B, that is removing the redundant force, plus redundant force will be applied. Okay, so that is C. So B plus C is equal to original diagram A. So we are using method of superposition also. So after knowing delta B as minus WL raised to 4 divided by 8 EI, I am going to look at M over EI diagram for this unit load that is applied. How do I find out the area there? We'll go back to the whiteboard and see it again. Clear all the drawing. So now we have fixed ended I'll draw that beam here. So this is the cantilever, which is statically determinate now. Now I'll just draw the moment here itself. So how much is the moment reaction because of the unit load that we have applied here? We have to apply unit load at this end. Okay, if I apply unit load here, this is 1. So what will be the moment reaction over here?
L.
Moment reaction will be 1 into L, correct. So I'll draw it here. Not this one, and text. So here M is going to be L. After finding out M, I have to find out how much is the area. Okay. So how do I find out the area? What will be the shape of the moment diagram?
What will be the shape of the triangle?
Triangle.
Will be a triangle. So it will be somewhat like this, right? This is how the moment diagram will be, right? Okay. So we have to find out area of that moment diagram. So I'll again write down the area. Area is equal to, how much is the area now?
L into L. Half L square.
Okay. L by 2 into L. So half L square. And next we have to find out the distance x. So how much is the distance x? How much is the CG, centroidal distance? It is going to be 2/3 L from the right.
2 by 3 L.
Yes, 2L by 3. Okay. Is this clear? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we go
Yes,
to
ma'am.
the presentation, that Word file. So here I have written the same thing. the moment, sorry, here, V double dash B is to be found out. It is on the conjugate beam, okay, because there is only one support at the right end. So it is 1 L over EI into L by 2, because it has to be moment over EI diagram. So it is L squared over 2, and we also have to divide by EI. And then moment is L squared over 2 EI into 2L by 3, so L cube over 3 EI. In other words, the deflection due to unit force which is applied at P comes out to be L cube over 3 EI. Now we have to use the compatibility equation, because we have to make the deflection 0. So delta B plus delta B dash into actual VB. So don't confuse with V double dash B, okay? V dash and V double dash, M double dash, they are the values for conjugate beam only. For our real structure, VB is the real reaction, okay? So delta B plus delta dash B into VB is 0 is the basic equation. So delta B is minus WL raised to 4 over 8 EI. Then delta B dash is L cube over 3 EI multiplied by VB equated to 0. So we can find out VB. Actually, it's a mistake on my part. This should
VB.
have been VB. So this VB is equal to WL raised to 4 upon 8 EI, this here, divided by L cube over 3 EI. That comes out to be 3WL by 8, which means that this reaction at the prop end is equal to 3WL by 8. Okay. Now we have to make use of the principle of superposition. What is the meaning of principle of superposition? Whatever results we have got because of this primary structure, and whatever results we have got because of this primary structure subjected to redundant force VB, is the actual forces or actual response of the actual structure. Okay. So VB is 3WL by 8. That is the reaction over here. In primary structure, there is no reaction over here. In primary structure, how much is the vertical reaction at A? How much is the vertical
WL
reaction
square
at A?
by 2.
W?
Sorry. L.
WL. Okay. So if this is WL, there is another reaction which is in upward direction, that is 3WL by 8, because that is additional force that is applied. So if I apply this additional force, I am bound to get a downward reaction is equal to 3WL by 8, right?
Yes.
So what is the final reaction at A? Upward WL minus this downward because of this
5WL.
force, it comes out to be 5WL by 8. Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is we again have to make use of principle of superposition to find out moment at A. Okay. So what was the primary moment at A? Here we had calculated it as minus WL squared by 2. Okay. So VB is also going to give rise to some moment. So that moment is going to be VB, that is 3WL by 8 multiplied by distance L. So that will be 3WL squared by 8. So we have minus WL squared by 2 plus 3WL squared by 8. Are you clear about this plus sign?
Yes,
This is minus over here and this is plus over here. Okay. So WL squared by 2 with minus sign plus WL squared by 8. So that comes out to be minus WL squared by 8. Okay. Clear? Okay.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, we have used given the sign of negative in deflection. Y equals to minus WL raised to 4 by 8EI. But we are considering the M
You
or
mean
EI
this
diagram.
deflection? You mean this deflection?
Yes.
So how
Yes,
do
ma'am.
we consider Y? We consider upward positive, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So if upward is positive, this deflection is downward. So I have
But
put
while
it as
drawing-
downward.
And
See,
then
this,
afterwards,
I'm
when we
talking
draw the
about this
PMD,
deflection. This deflection is this. This is that
and I got
delta
it.
P. Huh? So
And
what
I
is
got
the
it. But
doubt
when we
here?
used to, ma'am, when we used to draw the BMD diagram or MOREI diagram, we used to draw it in downward direction only. So we used to neglect the negative sign at that time.
Yeah, because we had it in our mind, which is the positive direction and which is the negative direction. See, M over EI, whether you draw it as positive or negative doesn't make much of a difference as long as you know that the force is acting upward in the upward direction. If the force is acting upward direction, what do you expect here for VB?
Positive deflection.
Yeah, so delta B dash is positive. So that is why I have considered here delta B dash as positive. Okay. And here I have considered negative. Is it right?
Okay, ma'am.
So this is downward negative and this is upward positive. And that is why delta B dash, which is minus W L raised to 4 over 8EI plus L cube over 3I into VB is equal to 0 is the formula. So if you take one part on the other side, you get VB is equal to delta B, change the sign, divided by delta B dash. That is what I have shown here. So this comes out to be positive. What is the meaning of VB positive? It means that the upward direction that we have assumed is correct. Got it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is positive. So upward reaction at A is also going to be positive. But now you will see that the balance has changed. Running out of time. Only 10 minutes. I think I'll reschedule. Do you have any other lecture later?
Survey.
At
Yes,
what
ma'am.
time?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
At-
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
At what time?
3:30.
3:30.
3:30. We have ample time. If we finish in between, I'll extend the time later on. Okay, fine. So VA is 5 WL by 8 upward. VB is also 3 WL by 8 downward. And we have this UDL, which is going uniformly. So how will the SFD look like? Upward we have to go as per VA, right? Then we have to go down. So that total downward movement is equal to W into L. Okay. So we have 5 WL by 8 minus WL. How much does it come out to be? Come on, tell me.
3 by 8 WL.
Minus 3 by 8 WL.
3 by 8
Minus
WL.
3 by 8 WL. Correct. So here we are at minus. Okay. So from here we have to go up equal to reaction VB 3 WL by 8. So I go up and I close it at 0, 0. So this part is positive and this part is negative. Okay. So drawing the diagram is the same, the way you had done it in the last course. Okay. Now next is we have to draw the bending moment diagram also. So how do we draw the bending moment diagram? What do you expect the bending moment to be at B? Is it 0 or non-zero?
0.
0.
Yes, very right. It is 0. And bending moment at A, we have found out is W L squared by 8 with negative sign. So I have started here W L squared by 8 here and this is 0. But how is the transition going to be in between? How do I know the transition? One way is I find out the moment from say right to left or left to right. It's your choice. It doesn't matter whether we are going from left to right or right to left. I find out at different locations and then I draw the diagram. This is one way. Other way is we try and look at the concept. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of this 0 shear force in terms of moment at that point?
Maximum bending moment.
Maximum bending moment.
Yes.
Okay. So maximum bending moment is going to be at this particular point. Is it possible for me to find out this distance which I have shown here, 3 L by 8? How do I find out
Yes,
this
ma'am.
distance?
Principle
By
of similar
similar
triangles.
Yeah,
Similar triangle prof.
So it comes out to be 3 L by 8. Okay, fine. So I can write down the equation from right end. What I have written here. From right end, I write down the equation. Okay, so at x is equal to 3L by 8, I have to find out the moment. It is WA into the distance x. This gives rise to positive moment minus moment due to UDL, which is acting on this particular part. Okay, so W x squared by 2, I have substituted x as 3L by 8. Okay, so if I look at the value, it comes out to be 9WL squared by 128. Okay, now if you remember the primary structure, there was no positive moment on this part, and on the entire beam there was negative moment. Entire cantilever beam there was negative moment. But what is happening now? There is some positive moment also. Okay, this should have been 4. Okay, so I get maximum moment where shear force is 0, and that value is 9WL squared by 128. Next point, important point I have to find out is the point of contraflexure. So what is the known thing about point of contraflexure? We know that at point of contraflexure, the flexure or the bending moment changes its sign. So at that particular point, the moment is 0. Okay, so I am equating moment to 0. So the same equation I am going to write here: VA into x minus WX squared by 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so if I solve for this x, I get x is equal to 3L by 4. Okay, so x is now being measured from B. Okay, so this is the point of contraflexion. So I have drawn entirely the shear force as well as bending moment diagram. Yes.
Ma'am, it should be VB now in that equation. Both the equations.
Yes. You corrected me. Very correct. This should have been VB. Yes, you are right. So I'll just make these corrections and then resend the file on whole. Any doubt here? Is there any doubt? Yes
No,
or no?
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Shall we go to the next problem now?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the next problem is here. A propped cantilever. Again, it's sort of a practice session. Earlier we had considered UDL. Now it's a little simplified version. We have point load. Okay, so it's again propped cantilever. Okay. Before I start, so what is the advantage of giving this redundant reaction or redundant support? So earlier the cantilever was statically determinate. Why increase our trouble as structural designer that we add a redundant force? What is the use?
Lesser load comes on fixed support.
Lesser load comes on fixed strength support.
To
Okay.
increase
Anything
the
else?
strength or durability.
Not really.
Ma'am,
How will it increase the
If the
durability?
member fails, ma'am,
Ma'am,
if the
if it
member
is
fails,
given-
then we can give support to it.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Ma'am, if suppose one of the member fails, then the redundant member or the extra member can bear the load of that
Okay,
failed member.
that is theoretical answer, which is correct, but there is only one member here. So
Yes.
what will happen? Okay, now I'll explain what is exactly meant by additional support. If you look at this particular moment diagram, what do you find? The moment at A earlier was WL squared by 2 without prop. It has reduced to WL squared by 8. So there is substantial reduction in the moment at the support. Okay. So when I design, I have to design the beam for lesser moment, which means the sectional requirement will be less, the depth will be lesser. Do you agree with it? How much reduction is there?
1/4.
4 times. Yeah, 4 times reduction. Okay, 1/4. Now, if you look here, earlier there was only negative moment throughout with maximum at the support and reducing to 0 here. It is getting 0, but in between there is some positive moment also. And how much is that positive moment? That we have found out, it is 9 WL squared by 128. It's not very high, But just by increasing a moment here of the magnitude WL squared by 9 WL squared by 128, I have reduced the moment at A to minus WL squared by 8. Isn't it a substantial reduction in the moment? So I have to design a beam which will carry this moment and this positive moment. So my section is going to reduce. This is the first advantage. Okay. Second advantage, here I was getting a very, very large reaction equal to W into L. Now that reaction has reduced to 5 WL by 8. So it's around little more than half, maybe 64-65%. And here I have added one more support. So there is also one reaction. So the column which I have to design here, I can design for a lesser load. I will have to put a column over here. But the advantage is that this being redundant structure, if by chance the moment increases, so instead of WL squared by 8, the load is such that this moment exceeds WL squared by 8. So what will happen? This support will give in. Moment will, the support will not be able to take more moment, but now it becomes a simply supported beam. Okay. So when it becomes simply supported beam, the moment here will be whatever it has earlier taken. So now additional load will not give rise to any moment.